They laughed when she walked onto the range. Not loud. Not cruel. Just enough to sting. A woman. A sniper. With a dog at her heel. The desert morning was calm. Cold sand. Pale sky. The smell of gun oil and dust hung in the air. She felt it in her chest. That familiar tightening. The weight of being watched. "Hope the dog shoots straight," someone muttered. She said nothing. Her name was Sergeant Elena Cross. 8 years in uniform. 3 tours. More ghosts than medals. The K9 pressed against her leg. German Shepherd. Jet black fur. Steady eyes. Rex. His breath was warm through her pants. Slow. Controlled. He trusted her. That mattered. The briefing room was quiet. Too quiet. Satellite images glowed on the wall. A compound in the hills. Enemy stronghold. High-value targets. Heavily armed. Command cleared his throat. "Cross your overwatch." A beat. "With the dog?" Another beat. "Yes." She felt the doubt crawl across the room. Like ants on skin. Night fell fast in the mountains. Wind cut through her gloves. Metal tasted sharp on her tongue. She lay prone on the ridge. Rifle snug in her shoulder. Scope cold against her cheek. Below, the compound breathed. Generators hummed. Voices drifted up. Rex lay beside her. Still as stone. Her ear crackled. "Movement at the south gate," she exhaled. Slow. Through the scope, she saw them. Armed silhouettes. Laughing. A finger brushed the trigger. She remembered her first kill. The sound. The smell. How it never really leaves. "Hold," Command whispered. Something felt wrong. Rex's ears twitched. A low growl rolled in his chest. She felt it too. The air shifted. Danger moved. A shadow on the ridge opposite. Too smooth. Too quiet. Sniper. Her heart slammed. Before she could speak, the night exploded. Gunfire. Shouts. Fire tearing through darkness. The team below was pinned. "Cross, we're hit!" She rolled. Dirt filled her mouth. A round crack past her ear. Rex was already moving. Teeth bared. Muscles coiled. "Go!" she breathed. He vanished into the dark. She fired. One shot. Clean. The enemy sniper dropped. Screams echoed from the compound. Alarms wailed. Her radio screamed chaos. Then Rex's bark cut through it all. Close. Too close. She smelled blood. Not hers. Not yet. Footsteps rushed her position. Her rifle clicked empty. She reached for her sidearm. Hands shaking. Rex lunged back into view. Fur slick with red. Eyes wild. Behind him, a figure rose from the dark. Gun raised. Elena locked eyes with Rex. And the mountain went silent. The silence shattered with a breath she didn't realize she was holding. Her finger tightened. The enemy fired first. The muzzle flash burned white. Too close. Too fast. Rex launched. Bone met bone. Flesh tore. A scream ripped the night. Elena rolled sideways. Gravel cut her cheek. The smell of cordite flooded her nose. She fired twice. Center mass. No hesitation. The body collapsed beside Rex. Her hand shook now. Not fear. Aftershock. "Cross, respond," Command yelled. She pressed the radio. "Still up," she said. Her voice sounded foreign to her own ears. Rex stood over the fallen man. Chest heaving. Blood dripping from his jaw. She grabbed his harness. Felt the heat of him. Alive. "Good boy," she whispered. Below, the compound erupted. Doors slammed. Boots pounded. Too many. She scanned the ridge. Thermal lit up. More heat signatures climbing fast. They were hunting her now. She remembered the jokes, the looks, the quiet bets she would fail. Her jaw clenched. "Team is trapped," came the call. "They're flanking us." Elena swallowed, heart racing. There was only one angle left. One impossible shot. Wind shifted, cold against her neck. She adjusted the scope, hands steady despite the noise in her head. She saw the target. Leader. Calm. Smiling. He thought he had already won. Rex growled again. Lower this time. Elena's mind flashed with memories. Faces she couldn't save. Orders she followed anyway. "Do it," she told herself. She squeezed. The shot echoed through the valley. The smile vanished. The enemy froze. Confusion rippled. Then rockets screamed toward the ridge. "Incoming!" she shouted. She grabbed Rex. Rolled downhill. The world exploded behind them. Heat. Fire. Stone raining from the sky. Her ears rang. Vision blurred. She landed hard. Pain shot through her leg. Rex stood over her. Blocking. Protecting. Footsteps closed in again. Closer than before. Elena tried to stand. Her leg buckled. She chambered her last round. Rex bared his teeth. And from the darkness below, a voice called her name. "Cross!" The voice was calm. Too calm. Not friendly. Not rushed. Her grip tightened on the pistol. Sweat ran into her eyes. Burned. Rex shifted in front of her. Low. Ready. "Come out," the voice said. "We don't want the dog hurt." That light hit harder than the gunfire. She tasted metal. Fear mixed with anger. "I'm not done," she thought. Her radio crackled once. Static. Then breathing. Someone was listening. Boots scraped rock below. Slow. Careful. Professionals. She pressed her palm into the dirt. Felt the mountains cold. Grounding herself. Rex's fur brushed her fingers. Warm. Real. A flare shot up from the compound. Red light washed over everything. For a split second, she saw them. 3 men. Weapons raised. One smiled. She fired. The pistol kicked. Empty. Rex charged again. A shot rang out. Rex yelped. Her heart tore open. "No!" she shouted. The word ripped from her throat. Rex stumbled. Did not fall. He turned back to her. Eyes still locked on hers. Trust. Even now. She dragged herself forward. Pain screaming through her leg. Another round cracked stone inches from her head. The men closed in. Shadows stretching. Her rifle lay just out of reach. She stretched. Fingertips scraping metal. A helicopter thundered in the distance. Too far. Or just in time. Rex stood between her and death. Bleeding. Growling. The smiling man raised his rifle again. Elena pulled the rifle to her shoulder. Breath shaking. She lined up the sight. And the mountain held its breath. Her breath slowed. Not calm. Focused. The world narrowed to a thin line of sight. Front post. Chest. The smiling man tilted his head. Almost curious. A shot cracked from somewhere else. His smile vanished. He dropped. The others froze. Shock flickering across their faces. Elena didn't wait. She fired again. And again. The rifle bucked hard. Pain tore through her leg. Rex lunged forward despite the blood. Pure instinct. Pure loyalty. Gunfire ripped the air apart. Rounds chewed stone. Sparks danced. "Cross extraction is 2 mics out," Command shouted. 2 minutes felt like a lifetime. Her vision tunneled. Cold crept into her fingers. She pressed her hand into Rex's wound. Warm. Too much. Stay with me, she whispered. Her voice broke. The dog's breathing was rough now. Uneven. Footsteps rushed from below again. More than before. Too many. She dragged Rex behind a boulder. Heart pounding. The smell of blood was everywhere. Her blood. His blood. A shadow passed overhead. Overwatch slammed the ridge. Dust blinded her. Enemy voices shouted orders. Angry. Desperate. She checked her ammo. One round. Just one. Rex lifted his head. Still watching. Still ready. Elena pressed her forehead to his. Felt him breathe. Good boy, she whispered again. The shouting grew closer. A laser dot crawled across the rock. Then another. She raised the rifle. Last round chambered. Her finger rested on the trigger. And the red lights locked onto her chest. The laser trembled. Just a little. Someone out there was nervous. She smiled without meaning to. A thin thing. Sharp. Easy, a voice said. Close now. Too close. The helicopter roared louder. Wind slammed her body flat. Dust filled her lungs. Rex tried to rise. Failed. She felt it in her bones. Time was tearing in two directions. Cross, mark your position, command shouted. She slammed the beacon into the dirt. Green light burst alive. Enemy fire answered instantly. Rock shattered. Fragments sliced her arm. She didn't scream. She pulled Rex closer. Shielded his head with her body. The smell of burning fuel drifted in. Hot. Bitter. A shape dropped from the helicopter. Fast rope screaming. Then another. Friendly voices. Yelling. Fighting. Round snapped inches overhead. Elena raised her rifle anyway. Last round still waiting. The laser returned. Centered on her face this time. Her heart slowed. Strangely calm. Rex's tail moved once. Barely. She whispered his name. The ridge shook again. An explosion closer than before. Someone screamed. Not her. The laser vanished. Footsteps rushed from both sides now. Friend or enemy? She couldn't tell. Elena tightened her grip. Finger on the trigger. Breath locked. And she fired. The recoil slammed into her shoulder. Hard. Final. The rifle clicked empty. The world lurched. Sound warped. Time stretched thin. The shot echoed down the valley. Then silence followed. Heavy. She didn't know who fell. Didn't know if it mattered. Boots hit the ridge. Fast. Urgent. Hands grabbed her vest. Rough. Friendly, a voice shouted. Another voice. Closer. Panicked. Dogs bleeding bad. Elena tried to speak. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. She smelled smoke. Blood. Cold stone. Rex whimpered once. Soft. Her vision blurred at the edges. The stars above smeared into white lines. Someone pressed a hand into her leg. Pain flared. Sharp enough to pull her back. Stay with me, Cross. She focused on Rex. On his eyes. Still open. Still searching for her. She reached out. Her fingers found fur. Wet. I'm here, she whispered. Gunfire erupted again below. Closer now. Angrier. A medic shouted numbers. Orders overlapped. The helicopter screamed overhead. Rotors chopping the night apart. They lifted Rex first. Strapped him down. Elena tried to sit up. Hands pushed her back. Not yet. She fought it. Weakly. The mountain groaned under explosions. Enemy fire chasing them upward. She felt herself being dragged. Toward the rope. Toward the edge. Rex barked. A single sound. Faint. Her heart jumped. She locked eyes with him again. And then the ridge erupted beneath them. The blast lifted the ground. Not up. Apart. Stone vanished under her back. Air rushed in, cold and endless. Someone screamed her name. The rope snapped tight, jerked her spine, ripped the breath from her lungs. She dangled over nothing, boots kicking, hands clawing air. Below her, the mountain burned, fire climbing upward, enemy shouting in panic. Above her, the helicopter strained, metal groaning, rotors fighting the wind. Her harness bit into her ribs. Pain flared white. "Rex!" she gasped. She twisted, neck screaming. He was still on the ridge, one strap loose, body sliding toward the edge. A soldier lunged for him. Missed. Rex's paws scraped stone, claws sparking. Their eyes met again. Just like training. Just like trust. "Stay!" she whispered. The ridge crumbled. Rex slipped. A hand caught his harness. Another blast shook them all. The rope jerked again, harder this time. Something tore. Metal shrieked above her. The pilot yelled. Fear clear now. Elena felt herself swinging. Wide. Uncontrolled. Her grip tightened on the rope. Skin burning. She couldn't see Rex anymore. Only smoke. Fire. Falling rock. Her radio crackled once, then went dead. The helicopter lurched sideways, and the mountain reached up for her. The impact never came. Something slammed into her instead. Hard arms. Steel grip. She crashed into the helicopter door. Metal rang. Pain exploded through her shoulder. Hands dragged her inside. She rolled across the floor. The world spun. The smell of fuel was thick, hot, suffocating. Someone shouted for altitude. Another cursed. She pushed up on one elbow. Vision swimming. "Rex," she said. Barely a sound. No answer. The open door framed the mountain. Still burning. Still collapsing. Tracer fire climbed toward them. Angry red lines in the dark. The gunner returned fire. The helicopter shuddered. Elena crawled to the edge, ignoring the hands pulling her back. She scanned the ridge below. Smoke. Fire. Nothing else. Her chest tightened. Too tight. "I need eyes on my dog," she said. Her voice cracked this time. Silence answered. Then a shout. "Movement!" She leaned farther out. Wind tearing at her hair. Through the smoke, something moved. Small. Unsteady. A black shape. Rex. Alive. Dragging himself across broken stone. Her breath hitched. The helicopter banked hard. Alarm screamed. Enemy fire surged again. Closer than before. The pilot yelled they couldn't hold. Elena grabbed the door frame. Half her body outside now. "Bring us down," she shouted. "No chance," came the answer. Below, Rex reached the edge. Looked up. Eyes locked on hers. The mountain gave one last violent shudder. And Rex slipped out of sight. Her scream never fully formed. It stayed trapped in her chest. The helicopter surged upward, forcing her back inside. She fought them. Kicked. Slammed her fist into the floor. "Put me down," she shouted. Raw. Broken. No one answered. The mountain fell away beneath them. Smoke swallowing everything. Her helmet slipped back. Cold air burned her face. She crawled to the door again, ignoring the blood pooling under her leg. The ridge was gone. Just fire. Just dust. Her hand shook. Violently now. A memory hit her hard. Rex is a pup. Clumsy paws. 2 big ears. Him learning to wait. To watch her eyes. To trust the signal. Her chest heaved. Negative visual, the crew chief said. Those words cut deeper than shrapnel. She pressed her forehead to the metal frame, closed her eyes. Then she heard it. Not loud, not clear. A bark. Faint, distant. Her eyes snapped open. There, she said, pointing into smoke. The crew chief hesitated. Could be echo. Another bark. Closer this time. The helicopter circled. Low fuel warning screaming. Through a break in the smoke, she saw movement. A ledge. Barely there. A black shape clinging to stone. Rex. Alive. Bleeding. Refusing to fall. Enemy fire erupted again from below. Rounds snapping past the open door. The pilot shouted they were exposed. Elena unbuckled. Hands grabbed her. Held her back. She locked eyes with Rex one last time. He tried to stand. The ledge cracked. And the helicopter began to descend anyway. The descent was violent. Too fast. Too close. Wind screamed through the open door. Dust clawed at her eyes. 30 seconds, the pilot yelled. Enemy fire chased them down. Rounds sparking off rock. Elena broke free. Dragged herself to the edge again. The ledge was crumbling. Rex barely holding on. Claws dug deep. Blood streaked the stone beneath him. Rope! She shouted. Someone threw it. The line whipped wildly. Missed. Rex barked again. Short. Urgent. She could hear the pain in it now. Again! She screamed. The rope swung wide. This time closer. Rex lunged. Teeth snapping around air. The ledge cracked louder. Chunks falling into the dark. Enemy voices echoed below. Closing in. Elena leaned out farther than she should. Pain vanished. Fear burned clean. Rex! She shouted. Jump! For a split second, he hesitated. Then he looked at her. The way he always did. He pushed off. The ledge collapsed behind him. The rope snapped tight in midair, jerking violently. The helicopter lurched. Alarm screamed. Elena reached. Fingers brushing fur. Almost. Gunfire tore through the smoke again. The pilot shouted to pull up. The rope strained. Metal screamed. Rex swung hard beneath the aircraft. Elena locked her grip on the frame. Every muscle screaming. She leaned farther, ignoring the hands pulling her back. Her fingers closed around the harness. And the cable began to fray. The fibers snapped one by one. A soft sound. Deadly quiet. Elena didn't think. She lunged. Pain vanished. Fear vanished. There was only weight. Warm fur. Trust in her hands. The cable tore free. For one frozen heartbeat. They were falling together. Then strong arms hauled them back. Shouting. Chaos. Rex hit the floor hard. Didn't move. Elena collapsed beside him. Vision tunneling. Dogs in! Someone yelled. We've got them. The helicopter clawed skyward. The mountain shrinking below. Gunfire faded. Fire became embers. Elena pressed her forehead to Rex's. Felt breath. Weak. But there. Tears mixed with blood on his fur. You stayed, she whispered. A medic knelt beside them. Hands moving fast. Both critical, he said. Elena laughed once. Soft. Broken. The laughter turned into a cough. The helicopter banked toward the horizon. First light touching the clouds. Behind them, the battlefield burned out. Quiet at last. Elena's eyes closed. Not in surrender. In release. Rex's tail moved. Just once. And somewhere between sky and ground, between loss and survival, their story refused to end quietly.